Welcome to Coo Coo for Who, a Doctor Who podcast. Series 8, Episode 12, Death in Heaven. I'm your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Rob Southgate.
Season finale.
No!
Finale.
Now we have to wait till Christmas for a new
Don't
episode.
tell me that.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about that yet. We'll get there. So
Oh, we have to talk about Santa,
Yeah.
we will.
which makes us talk about it.
But we'll talk about that at the end. Right now,
It
let's
makes
talk
me
about
cold
this.
to talk about Santa.
Let's talk about this episode. So this is the follow-up. Last episode, we found out who Missy is.
Yes.
We found out that she's the master. And
They
this
were all
episode,
friends.
who is all friends?
Old friends, the Doctor and Missy.
Well, yeah, they kind of. They're frenemies.
They used to be old friends.
Well, yeah, I never thought they were friends before. I always thought they were just rivals, but here it implied that they were friends at some
And then
point.
they were rivals.
And then they became rivals, yeah. And,
They mentioned it very specifically that as a little kid, like my age,
yeah.
they were friends.
So when we saw the Doctor as a little kid crying in that bed, I wonder if Missy was at that same place,
Mm-hmm.
and we just didn't see him, because he would have been a him then.
That's awkward.
Why is it awkward?
He would have been a him then?
But it's hard
Well, yeah,
to
the
say.
Master has always
I
been
know, but it's
a
hard.
boy.
Like, then it's like her, him, like,
Right.
what? Yeah, what is
Right.
she now?
Well, and really, they're not either.
Missy.
Oh, this is...
They're really not either. So when they regenerate, they're
Whatever they take on.
yeah, whatever they take on. So him, her, whatever.
Mhm.
So okay, Molly, I think going through this one, first of all, this was a packed episode.
It was a bit of a roller coaster ride. I
And
didn't
there
know
was
what was
so
going on
much.
through the first
I
major chunk of it, and then it was like, oh,
want
God.
Danny back.
Okay, so let's do that. Let's just talk about major points in this, because going through it,
Forward.
I
I
think
thought
it's
you were
gonna
going to
take
say, let's
2
talk about
hours.
Major Pink.
Major
Tom,
Pink.
Okay.
So
Major
Danny,
points.
let's talk about the Danny thing for a
Mhm.
minute. So we saw the result of last week. Last week, Danny died, and he was in that hard drive. This week, we saw him in the hard drive again,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying, we're going to upload everybody into these Cybermen. And
The Cybermen bodies.
yeah, and it turns
Except
out,
for me.
it
because-
turns out that the Master, they think, has been
No.
doing this for all time. As long as
Mhm.
we've on Earth believed in an afterlife, the Master has been harvesting these bodies, or these
Brains.
brains, or this.
I think the guy said brains. Our brains are uploaded into the...
Okay, whatever it is, the consciousness of these people
Mhm.
into that hard drive,
Mhm.
and Danny gets downloaded. Because that's what they were doing. They were taking them all, and they were downloading them into all the dead bodies, which were getting transformed into Cybermen.
Mhm.
But Danny, when he gets brought back, before he's activated to have no emotion, finds that slip of paper that's got pink on it,
Mhm.
and it's the slip of paper telling him that it's him,
Yeah.
that
Uh-huh.
he was the one on the slab there.
Yes.
So that's why he doesn't change. His thing was not activated.
Mhm.
So Danny's dead.
Danny sacrificed himself. I thought that was fantastic. And it was true to his character, I
Yes.
think, from the beginning.
Yes.
And I think it allowed then the closure of that for the Doctor, because he was able to...
Well, no,
see-
because the Doctor hasn't had the closure.
Hang on.
Okay.
He said, you take this,
Oh,
you build your
mean,
army
You mean that he got to give respect to Danny?
to being a
Yeah.
soldier, and he saluted the Brigadier at the end.
Yes.
And so it brought closure to the Doctor as far as soldiers go. So any soldiers that are watching the show,
Right, aren't gonna
anyway,
think, what a
he's been
jerk.
bashing them the whole series, and this whole series 8, and so I think it was really good closure for him.
It was.
And Danny was able to leave respected and appreciated.
Yes.
And
Well, and the thing is, we don't know 100% that Danny is gone. Now
Yay.
Well, no, actually we do, because he was trying to communicate from the afterlife. So he has gone. I was thinking that when he flew up and he was flying them all up there and they were going to they all blew up, that there was a possibility that he didn't.
That he could have had them all blow up. But see, that's not his character.
Well, no, but it could have been so that he could go off and
He could have transported
destroy more
himself.
Cybermen.
Wait, no, Dad transported himself somewhere.
Right.
How?
But he didn't. He killed himself.
He couldn't live with himself for what he did as a soldier before.
Right.
Do you really believe that he is capable, his character is capable of sending all of his men to die and then he fakes it and moves on? No way.
But what I was thinking is he wasn't sending them to die. He was allowing all those dead people to pass on where they should have passed on.
But he
did too, and
There's
that's how
no
he was
way.
able to bring back the boy that he killed. So he got his redemption.
Yes.
And he got his redemption with the doctor also, and he still held his ground, like when he saluted him and called him, a soldier and everything.
Yes.
This was a hard episode, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like I really didn't think. All season we've been saying different theories about Danny, and at first we were excited. We thought he was going to travel with them, and then we said, no, wait a minute, he's not traveling. Something's up with that. Having him gone at this point was a really weird thing.
Wait.
What?
How is Orson Pink created?
I think Claire's pregnant.
So
I
you
said
think-
it last week.
Okay.
That was my theory last week, was that what if Claire is pregnant?
She
Okay.
doesn't look,
Do you guys forget that I said that?
doesn't look pregnant.
You don't look
Yeah, but-
pregnant until you're quite a few months along
Right.
in
She
the
could
pregnancy.
be newly pregnant.
But I have a feeling that she is pregnant already, and that's how Orson has a great-great-grandparent who is a time traveler.
Sure. Could be.
That's what I said last episode, and I'm holding on to that.
Okay.
Now that Danny's gone.
Right. Well, and I do think there's a point where Claire is going to stop traveling. And, I mean, here they were trying to make you believe that she's done. But at the very end, it kind of sounds like she's not, possibly. Like her story's not over.
Well, because Santa wants to go find her.
They've tried to drop hints that they've said that there was a tweet where Jenna Coleman said that she was done at the Christmas special, but that's never been substantiated. It hasn't come out anywhere else. But
Jenna Coleman said?
A lot of people are assuming it. Well, there was a news report saying that Jenna Coleman said in a tweet that the Christmas special was her last.
But we haven't had
But
that
there's
verified.
been no confirmation. Who knows? Who knows if that's the case? But it could just be leading up to this, so that this cliffhanger, you're like, that really felt like it was the end. Now, if she does stop, there is going to be a point where she is going to stop. Maybe if she is pregnant, she stops because of that.
Yeah.
And she raises Orson's father? Was she
his great-great-grand...
Yeah, okay.
Great-great-grandparent.
Okay, so his
time traveled.
Great-great-grand something, or great-grand something, is who she would have then. Okay. I'm so confused.
His great-grandparent.
Sure. So, okay. So Danny turned into RoboCop, and...
First he turned into Iron Man.
And then RoboCop, when they took the thing off.
Yeah, then RoboCop.
And then it turned out that he was actually the Tin Man because he had to get his heart fixed.
The Tin Man.
And once she gave him his heart back, that's when he turned into a cyber.
Then he turned into E.T. and Neil Diamond started singing "Turn on Your
Turn
Heart
on Your
Light."
Heart Light. Yes.
Don't you dare talk over my joke, young
That's
man.
so funny. So yeah, that was
How did...
Danny's
when
arc.
he was phoning.
Yes, when he phoned home.
E.T. phone Clara.
Yeah.
No, P.E. phone Clara.
Oh, very good. Yeah, so that was Danny's story arc, and I'm sorry he's gone. I know he gets some hate on Twitter and that, but everything gets hate on Twitter.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
I mean, it could be like...
You get hate on Twitter, and you're awesome.
You think Dad
I'm
does?
awesome.
When do you get hate on Twitter?
Nothing you said was right there. 'Cause
Molly, are you tweeting hateful things?
I
to
haven't
your
gotten hate
dad?
on Twitter, and I'm not awesome. So everything you said, you're like Clara with the lies.
I like you.
I'm glad you like
awesome.
me. You're awesome. That was like a patronizing. You're awesome.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go, man.
So, Okay, I want to switch gears. Mm-hmm. Because...
You want to switch gears in your sonic screwdriver?
Yes. Boy, you are full of funny tonight.
Not really. That one felt...
That was lame.
That one felt very...
I wanted something really cool, like switch gears.
Wait.
I need a deflattener to raise you up from that flat joke.
I actually have to tweet out some hate to Molly there for that joke. Let me just do that real quick.
I don't tweet.
Hashtag lame joke.
Dog.
Hashtag.
Dog.
You said hashtag very clearly.
Oh, I'll find out when I
Maybe he's a
this.
Valley girl.
Yeah, I am.
Hashtag.
I have to hashtag that.
That's right. So, I want to talk about Missy.
Okay.
Because...
Missy Poppins?
A lot of things... Yes. A lot of things happen with Missy in this episode. So, they captured her right away.
Was Mary Poppins. She had the umbrella. She was flying.
She had the hat.
Yes.
And then she was la la la.
That was
la,
fantastic.
flying down.
Well, and also the theme music alluded to...
Did you notice
Mary
that
Poppins.
each one had... Okay, we had James Bond.
Oh, this was full of references.
We had Twilight Zone.
Well, we just did them with Danny Pink. There was RoboCop. There was...
But they had music. Like, they would change the music a little bit so that it would sound...
When he was diving at the TARDIS after he got blown out of the plane, that was totally James Bond at the beginning of Moonraker. When he's flying and he puts his hands back and he actually flies through the air. That was so cool.
And speaking of that scene, when Missy and the one guy that's kind of been looking after Orson.
Right.
In the
Mork.
afterlife.
We'll call him Mork.
Okay. So Mork says...
Looking after Orson or looking after Danny?
Danny.
Okay.
And Mork says...
Well, now it doesn't apply.
Permission...
To squeeze.
To squeeze! And he put up his hands like...
I love
that was so funny.
Because he thought the doctor was so cool
but that
to do that.
was so cool when he was flying through the air.
And then she disintegrated him.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, she also said she just deleted him. He's a program.
Yeah.
So,
but she didn't like that he was...
Although, I don't think she cares about disintegrating anything. Plus, I think she was a program in there at that point.
But she was...
or maybe not. I don't know. It seems weird that she would be inside that hard drive.
She wasn't liking that he was impressed with the doctor.
Right.
Permission to squeeze.
Yeah, that was really cool. So there was James Bond.
Permission to squeeze.
Yeah.
And then there was Mary Poppins. And there was RoboCop.
Mm-hmm.
There was Air Force One. Or Captain America.
Clara was just Clara.
Clara was just Clara. Okay. I want to talk about Missy, and then we'll get to Clara. So
I thought we already were.
Missy was captured right
Missy
away.
Poppins.
I did not see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
She gets captured right away. She gets out, and she does the worst thing. She kills Osgood.
Yeah.
And Osgood gave us our Matt Smith feels.
But we've only had 2 episodes with very minor Osgood, and I love Osgood. He's got to go back and correct that somehow. Some of this has got to be corrected because, first of all,
Danny dying.
They make it seem like Osgood is just a super fan, but I don't believe that.
She's like us.
That still doesn't make sense because that dropped line in the 50th when the Cyberman or the Zygon said to her, the other one is prettier. Mm-hmm. I know that she is a doctor's daughter.
Yeah.
And that's why she's got all these mixed up doctor things. She had the sand shoes and the bow tie on. She had the big scarf before. Mm-hmm. Killing her off doesn't make sense to me. It was kind of like when the lone gunmen were killed on X-Files. That never made sense to me. That was worse than this.
We don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about
that. Did not happen because
But see, this they can correct that stuff. They can course correct some of those things. So I don't want her to be gone. It doesn't make sense to me that they killed that character, especially when they brought her in and it was like, oh, great, she's back. That was weird. But Missy kills her. Mm-hmm. The Cybermen rise.
She's like, come on, dear. I have something to tell you.
And
I am going to kill you in a minute.
Yes. Like, just us girls.
Just our girl's secret.
But then when she shows up, like she succeeds at her plan. Okay? Mm-hmm. The Cybermen are in the cloud, and they're seeding the dead, and then she does the craziest thing. She gives the doctor control of the Cybermen. he has to make a choice.
Well,
I thought this was a really wild twist.
She does that, Marilyn Monroe.
Yes. There's another reference.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Yes. Oh, that was a great impression.
Isn't it fantastic?
It is. It's fantastic.
I look like her, too.
That
I
was
look like
really,
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, no,
you
do not.
But that was really interesting how it all turned there, because the master was genuinely giving that control over to the doctor. Like, there's always this interesting game going on between these guys.
Right.
And
a chess match.
Yeah, and the doctor...
That's funny. We're reading Alice in Wonderland right now.
Played it well by figuring out to give Danny the control. So that beat the master. Now, do you think that the master...
In chess, making him the king.
Yes, made him the king. Yes, they were playing chess. Right. Do you think that the master is dead? Because, okay, he was about to use that thing that disintegrates him. Then we saw the bolt come from the brigadier, cyber brigadier, that shot Missy, and she and turned all blue and disappeared. I don't believe she's dead.
No.
I think she teleported at that exact moment because the color that she turned when that bolt hit her was blue. Now, granted, the bolt was blue, but when she teleported off of the airplane, it looked exactly the same.
Now,
no,
why
Dad?
wouldn't she regenerate if she's a Time Lord?
If she's completely disintegrated, there's nothing to regenerate.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it.
Although that you could be right.
The doctor could regenerate.
From
That'd
nothing?
be awesome if they just disintegrated.
No, he regenerates in his body.
No, if they disintegrated him, then he went, new body, hi, I'm young,
That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I don't know what you're doing. We kept you up too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
now
did.
You're not making any sense.
So...
I'm saying,
So I don't know if Missy's dead. Do you guys think Missy is actually dead?
No, I don't. Missy may be dead, but not the master.
Okay, so you think the master is still alive. I do,
I don't
too.
know that we'll ever see it in Missy's form again.
Right. Although I think it would be great if we did, because I really enjoyed Missy.
Mary Poppins.
Yes.
Missy Poppins.
I don't think I'd care.
I think I would.
I didn't love her.
No, I think I'd like to see her do more. I'd like to see, because really the master is like, Doctor Who's Joker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the Doctor Who series, the character of the master is like the Joker to Batman.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about.
And if she's gone, completely gone, that threat, that never-ending threat, is gone. And I don't believe it.
No, that's why I said I don't, but I don't know that it'll be in the form of Missy.
Right.
I think it might
but
be in
I think it'd be interesting to have Missy pop up again. Maybe 2 seasons, 3 seasons from now.
Pop in.
Have her pop in, yes.
Mary Poppins. Get them out. I knew she wasn't. She was a little slow on that.
Yeah, right.
Usually you're right on those.
So other things that were in this, we had Osgood, which was awesome until the tragedy. We had...
Until it wasn't awesome anymore.
We had Kate. So the Brigadier's
Which was almost
daughter.
not awesome, but then she was saved.
Right. That was really cool. And I love it.
Though,
once
was
again,
disintegrated, and then the doctor stepped in her.
Yeah.
In her goo.
Yeah.
Goo. It's not goo. It's sand.
Now that's another thing. Maybe that disintegration with that thing.
Maybe you could just put water on it.
Oh, like on Batman. Batman the movie. Remember when they disintegrated all the guys and then they put the water in them and it brought them back to life?
It's like when you worked at White Castle and you just
had
to make onion and he could just pour some water in this powder and onions would pop up.
It's so weird.
I don't think that
happened. Weird.
That is so frightening.
I don't think that really happened.
It totally happened. I was the one that did it.
You had powder.
I did. It looked like powder, and it was just a little powder in an orange bucket.
Oh,
and you had to pour the water in and stir it and stir it and stir it, and then all of a sudden they were onions. Yep.
It's frightening. Okay, we're not going to talk about that.
We don't eat at White Castle, obviously.
Obviously, we're not getting them as a sponsor. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye, White Castle. We like onion. That's actually
onion. Yes.
Onion.
So
that's not.
I'm doing a crazy wave at you.
So Clara had an awesome moment that I was very disappointed didn't continue.
Okay.
When she claimed to be the doctor and was saying all that stuff.
Yeah.
I started thinking, how cool would it be to have him be in multiple places? And when she said Clara never existed, I wasn't buying that.
She's not a good liar.
No, but I was thinking it would be really cool to have that be true. And then when it wasn't, I thought it was kind of thrown away. Mm-hmm. You know, it just kind of felt that way. Like it was just kind of like, passed over.
Yeah, it was weird.
I'm up to that point. I am the doctor.
And does she really think that Cybermen are that stupid?
Well, they were confused by it because she was doing the same things the doctor does. He talks to him that way and he does confuse the situation. But I
didn't buy that at all.
I thought it was cool if it was going that way. But then when it didn't, it was disappointing. It was the one thing in this episode that I was like, that didn't quite work for me.
It fell
flat. Mm-hmm. There were things I didn't like. I didn't like that Osgood was killed.
Right.
But that fell a little flat for me.
I loved when the father was rescued her and the doctor saluted him.
Oh, yes. For Kate, yes.
That was very special.
That was a great throwback, too. And when you saw his picture and then she said, the only thing he ever wanted was for you to salute him, and he said, well, he should have asked.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then...
Well, before that, though, he said, I never salute. Mm-hmm. I've never saluted anyone.
Right.
And she said, that's all my father ever wanted.
Right. So that was really cool.
And then he said, well, he should.
And I'm really glad they didn't kill Kate.
Right.
But they shouldn't have killed Osgood.
I agree.
I think that was a foolish move.
Maybe they'll fix it.
I hope so.
They're going to add water. Just add water.
Just add water.
H2O, just add water.
So,
like your mermaid show?
Yeah, that's the name of it.
I like to think it's Batman 66. That's what I like to think.
That's what I like to think, too.
Right.
I like that better than mermaids.
Oh, really?
No.
I do. You know I do.
You still like mermaids. What do you like better, My Little Pony or mermaids?
My Little Pony.
Yay! Yeah. I'm a brony for a dad.
A brony for a dad for a day. So, okay. What are we missing in this episode? There was so much. Oh, I didn't finish about Clara. So, Clara, ultimately, at the end of the episode, still lied to the doctor.
Well, she didn't. She was trying to tell him the truth.
Right.
But he said, I found Gallifrey and I'm going to go home. And then she went, oh, if I tell him, he's going to feel obligated to stay.
What I'm saying is they both lied to each other, thinking they were giving the other one what they wanted.
Yes, so that was different. That's not a typical lie. But she was absolutely trying to tell him, and he cut her off.
Right.
And then he said, oh, I found Gallifrey and I'm going to go home.
It wasn't the same. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the same. But still, ultimately, this whole season has been a lot of that. There's been a lot of him saying, shut up, and a lot of that. And we saw that here at the end again.
Yes.
Now,
I love it when he does that. Shuddy up.
I want to know about the coordinates. Like, Missy gives him the coordinates, says it's Gallifrey. He goes there.
And he said she didn't lie this time.
Yeah, she didn't lie for once.
But yes, she did.
But she did. But here's what I don't get. To what end? Because if she was disintegrated, why was she sending him there? Why was she making him think Gallifrey was there?
Just to toy with him. It sounds like that was their relationship, because he said, this is, she finally didn't lie. Like, this time she finally told me the truth. And, she wasn't lying to me. I think it's their established relationship.
Just how they
is
do
to
it.
kind of mess with each other.
Yeah.
And so he went to go see, thinking maybe.
But I still think Gallifrey could be at those coordinates, just in a different dimension.
And that's why he beat the TARDIS up, because he was upset that he believed her, that he allowed himself to believe her.
Right, that he fell for it, yeah. I think that Gallifrey is in a different dimension. I think that Gallifrey is at those same coordinates, but just not there. So maybe she did give the correct coordinates, but he's in the wrong dimension. Mm-hmm. And the TARDIS travels through dimensions. We're seeing it travel through space, but it does travel through dimensions. Mm-hmm. So, could be. Know. He didn't go through the various dimensions.
She kept trying to tell him, I can still travel with you, and he kept saying, no.
Right.
Go live your life. And
go be with Danny, go live your life.
That was really breaking my heart.
So do you think Clara's stuck with this kid right now? Because Danny said go find his parents, but it's only been 2 weeks. I mean, do you think she's found his parents?
I think she found he wasn't there.
Maybe he's back watching Netflix, hanging out at the house, eating some popcorn.
So I don't think she's keeping a dead kid around for a long period of time.
Keeping a dead kid? How does she get him out of the country? How does she make all that work?
How do you explain how you have access to this child?
Right. How does should get him back to wherever he has to go.
Danny put her in quite a pickle. And if she doesn't have the doctor, like, I would have immediately called the doctor and said, I have this kid.
Right.
We have to go stick him in his house.
Can we stick him in his house?
So no one will notice.
Right. But instead, she's got to deal with this. There's a lot of paperwork. There's lots of things.
Danny's really screwed her up.
I think when this season comes back, the next season, she's going to be in prison for life for harboring a fugitive or a stolen kid, like human trafficking.
Oh, human trafficking.
Oh. Suddenly, Doctor Who takes a very dark turn.
It's going to be a very special episode.
Very special.
Where they talk about...
Gordon Jump is going to be on as the guy that owns the bike shop that they're doing human trafficking from. That was quite the reference right there. Let me just tell you right now.
He found Santa.
Okay,
Molly's actually keeping us on track.
We're going to cut to that because we've really kind of covered it. What's there to say? I mean, it was an amazing episode, but there's... unless you're going beat by beat through the episode, it's really just these key moments. Mm-hmm. So the biggest key moment to Molly happened in the last,
Santa.
2 seconds. Yes! Knock on the door. Hey, it doesn't end that way.
Oh, the snow's blowing in.
Snow blows in. I'm coming in. And it's Santa.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we've had Robin Hood show up.
Now Santa.
We had Mary Poppins.
And Marilyn Monroe.
And now we have Santa.
Although Marilyn Monroe wasn't.
No, that was just a reference to Marilyn Monroe.
We
didn't have Marilyn Monroe show up.
Fictional or mythical
character.
Or
Mary Poppins.
But that was awesome. And it's Nick Frost, who we love, playing Santa.
Frost.
I'm so excited.
I get it. Nick Frost.
I'm sure that's why he was cast. I'm sure of it. So yeah, I'm so excited for this Christmas special. And it looks scary.
Why?
Didn't you see the first part of the preview? You only saw Santa show up, right?
Yeah.
They were like gooey, like they look like Alien. It looked like The Thing, or like in the movie Alien when they first opened the hibernation pods, and there's like all the goo.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
So their goo doesn't freeze.
And then you saw and then what did the doctor say?
Who you gonna call?
Yeah!
No way.
And then in came
Nick Frost.
Santa with a couple of elves. So
interesting. Well, Santa's going to get him and Clara back.
What if he's getting him Osgood and not Clara? There is that possibility.
But
I'm gonna be afraid of Santa after this. I have a feeling that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be there's a madman downstairs.
There's a madman
in Christmas night. Thinking,
but wouldn't his box be red, like his sleigh? What if Santa travels around in a red TARDIS?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep, little slow
I
on
don't
that one.
think he decorates it like Snoopy's, with
the Christmas lights on the side. Maybe the doctor will do that on this next episode.
I would like that.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thank you for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts at our newly redesigned website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
We also have a new forum, and there's been very little activity on there, but there is a forum thread for Coo Coo for Who, for Doctor Who conversation. So please jump on there and start talking about stuff. Let's get into conversation. We are going to be doing, I think we're going to start after the Christmas special. We're going to go back and on this show, we're going to start doing the Chris Eccleston series. Mm-hmm. And it would be really fun if we were talking about it at the forum. So join us there. You can get to it through our website as well as all our other social media. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and Player FM and SoundCloud and basically every other directory out there we should be on. And if we're not, send us an email and let us know. Our email is southgatemediagroup@gmail.com. All right. I think we got it all out. Oh, one more thing. We love to talk about some of the sponsors we have on our website. At the Coo Coo for Who page, so if you go to our website, click on Coo Coo for Who, it's got our past episodes on there and everything. It also has some of our sponsors. One of them that I want to mention is it has T-Shirt Bordello. The reason I want to bring them up, they have awesome Doctor Who T-shirts. Molly has a great one that has the TARDIS with Horton coming around it, and it says, Horton here's who? And there's some that have different silhouettes of the Doctors, and there's a Weeping Angel versus Cyberman. I mean, it's just really, really great T-shirts, and you can get them by clicking on the link at our website. Please do that. It helps us, and it helps you because you'll have an awesome Doctor Who T-shirt. That's it. Thanks again for listening, everybody.
Until the Christmas special.
Alonzi!